This is my design team project for Wild Rose Bohemian for April, and it's the Versailles 1789 Versailles kits. I used quite a bit of the kits. I tried to use 1 or 2 pages from everything that she put out, which shows you that it's way too fat. It's a 5-inch spine. I almost took it all apart and just did 2 smaller ones, but I decided I would just go ahead and leave it big. Part of my problem is I only use 28 full sheets in this journal, so it shouldn't be this fat. But sorry, I hit the camera. I added a lot of bulky ephemera and decorations, and it made the pages way too wide. So I added some flowers on it. It has like some acetate over this picture and frame. Added a little bow here. These are some of the background pages that she has. If anyone wants to know which kits there were, just let me know in the comments and I will let you know exactly which kits I used. I also added a little key with a cameo on it for decorations. I added grommets and elastic, and that's the way that my signatures are being held in. And I will show you, I did not put the first signature in just yet because I want to show you how I did that. This is the inside cover with a little pocket here. Has some stickle, a couple of little journal cards. My hands are full, so a couple of little journal cards here. And what I did on the signatures, because they were kind of wide and bulky, is I went ahead and used a 3 pamphlet stitch on them, but just to hold the pages in place. But then they can be slid out of the elastic if somebody wants to write in it or work in it or something like that. It will lay flatter. I added stickles to her jewelry here, and I have a little envelope with a couple of little journaling pages here. As I've said before, I use the Epson presentation paper, which is a little bulkier, and that's kind of why some of my pages are, are a little thicker, because when I start to fold them, it makes them bulky. And that is 48-pound Epson presentation paper. So I have a little tag here inside the corset. The corsets will untie. The corsets came from the French kit from last April in 2024, but everything else is pretty much from the kits from this year. A couple of little journaling cards here, some more stickling, journaling card here. He folds down, has a tag here, and all of my tags and journaling cards are backed, so you can write on the back of them. Most of them are just plain, or they have a little bit of the pattern paper that I printed onto the newsprint that I used to back most of my pages. This is just a decorated page here. A little lace on the inside. Little tags that come out. One for you to write on. Little flip down here. And file folder with some notebook paper in it for journaling. And I used some of her sentiments and the little clips from the clipboard pages she put out the last week or so, and they tuck behind these little fans. And I did get this seam binding. The crinkled seam binding was a gift from Rose for helping her out with the Facebook page the last couple of months, and so I used that. She asked them if they could match up the colors in this kit, which they did a wonderful job, and so I used that throughout as ties on my tags. This was just a double page. I double printed this page, and then I cut around the second one and glued it down to make side tucks here, and then I used the rest of the inside of the page to make tags that have a little page for you to write on, and they tuck in and they match up with the background page. A couple of journaling cards here tucked into the envelopes. This was one of the decorations that I had showed in the group for the challenge for last week. Has little journaling cards here. All I did was cut one long piece of background page, folded it where my pockets would fit sideways, and then made little journaling cards to fit in here, and then I added notebooks, and I think I have 3 of those in here, and then they have a little circle to hold them down. So they're, and this one I really used the bone folder on to make them flatter so that they would not be quite so bulky. Some lace for journaling, a belly band there. Then these little pictures. And what I did on these, and I did it, I think there's 3 or 4 of them. I just took one of her pages that has like the belly bands or the long sheets here, and I left them whole, and then I sliced in between them to make ladder pockets here. So, and you'll see those throughout the journal. I used some of the larger ones like this, and then I used some of the smaller ones. This is just a little journaling card here that I made, and I cut out the bird from one of the tags and made a hidden paper clip there. This was one of the envelopes that I showed in my challenges for the group in her art. We did change, she did change the name of her Facebook group from Wild Rose Bohemian, so there's a little journaling card there, postcard, corner tuck, another journaling card. The butterflies have some stickling, so they shimmer a little bit. A lot of the pages were very decorative, and so it's hard to write on those. So I added a lot of journaling cards in here so that there's spots. Okay, and then this little guy is the beginning of the second signature with a journaling card there. A flip up with a couple of journaling cards in here. And then this envelope folds down, and I added journaling space inside of it, and it has some tags on the outside here. Okay, then a fan that will open and holds a journaling card. And then there's some shimmer stick on this frame or mirror or whatever you want to use it as. And the fan will fold back in. And I have some writing spot on the back of that. Here's another one of the little flip ups with pockets. And it's a belly band, so it has a journaling card behind. A couple of journaling cards here. And this will also lift up. I used some Velcro to hold it on. And it's just got a brad holding it in there so it'll spin. Then I have a couple of these with some hidden journaling spots in there. And some little circles that hold the tags. And these doilies were with her ephemera for this month. And then I have a flip up here. The curtains will swoop around, and then the windows open, and this is open, so if somebody wanted to put a tag behind it, they could. Then I used the clips from the clipboards again here. Just a different way to use all of the different pieces and parts. I try to give y'all an example of where my mind goes to and what I think about doing with some of these things, and I'm sure that you can come up with lots of ideas on your own. And this I just cut a little shape into it and made a tuck there. a fussy cut of some of the girls. And some more stickles here. These are beautiful images. Another file folder. And then I added her sentiments that she put out. A couple of the little girls. And then a journaling card here that fits down inside the envelope. Another belly band. And then one of the clipboards. And I did mine different than what she showed in her video on YouTube. I just added a small paper clip. And then I just made it as a hidden paper clip. So you can put a notebook in there or whatever you would like to do with that. Then a couple of journaling cards here behind a side tuck that's at the very back at the middle of your signature instead of on the outside. Another journaling card. And then another little full page, which I printed on both sides. And I added a sentiment there, and then a couple of little fussy cuts. Another picture frame with some more acetate, and a tag that you can write on the back. And this has a punch out in the middle with some lace on the back side. And this was, I followed Rose's example in her YouTube channel of how to use the 3 tags that are connected together to make a wraparound page. And then I used the triangle pockets like she showed that I put on the outside of one of the tags, and then they flip over on the back for a tuck that you can tuck another card into. And then also I have journaling cards here. So that was a fun way to use the ephemera in a different way than when you just look at it and you think it just is a tag. Another journaling card. And this one has another frame on it with a tag down the back in the inside of it. I'm sorry, I can't talk today. Okay, and another tag. The third signature. A couple of journaling cards. I used this as a fussy cut. I cut out. I backed it and stuck it behind this so you can write on the back of it. This little frame has shimmer stick on it too, but I don't think you can see the shimmer in the camera. This is a little flip down. It has tags here. There's 4 tags that will fit in it. You could put more if you wanted to. Then I left it where you could open it up, and I added some plain paper for a journaling spot, but also you can open it up here and you could write on the inside. Then I have some balloons here from the fussy cuts. And another envelope with journaling cards in it. Another flip out with places to write. Then I have a waterfall here that you can flip up. It's not interactive, it's just a flip up. Sometimes I do the interactive ones where you pull them, and sometimes I do them this way. Another little butterfly with some shimmer on it from the fussy cuts, and another one of the doilies from the kits, which I added another cloth doily to, and then some of the decorations, and then one of the pockets here with a little skinny journaling card here. And then another file folder. And this was an envelope also that I just cut the top off of and made a pocket. And here's another one of the clipboards. Again, it's a hidden paper clip. And then I just made a belly band out of some of the pieces that she gave us. And this is from the same kit that the cover is from. And I think it was something frames. There were so many this month, I can't remember the names of all of them. Then some curtains here that has a little tag tucked up inside of it. Another flip up. with some writing spots on the inside, and that's a belly band, so it has a tag behind it. Then another postcard. And I used some gilding wax, some gilding wax around the edges of this. This is the gilding wax that I used, the gold. I also have some pink and purple in that. Here's another one of the little things that I made ladder tags out of. And then you can put a tag down the back and then just split it in between so that you can put little tags or a big journaling card or something in there. A fussy cut that holds another little card. Use the stamps and the little envelopes that came, and then each one of the envelopes has a little tiny journaling card inside of it. So this has a tag behind it. Another journaling card that's big, and then you could journal on this page. Here's another journaling card, and then a couple more of these with some hidden spots for journaling. I tried to leave anything that was plain or that was really light colored so that it could be written on the inside. This little suitcase slides out, and then this also slides out, and I think I saw this on Lady Al. She did it as a bureau where the drawers were there, but you could slide out a little piece on the side, and I kind of borrowed that idea from her. I always try to give credit if I see somebody do something. Sometimes I can't remember exactly who I saw, but when I do, I try to always mention them, because very few ideas are mine. They're just something that I've seen somebody else do. These little flip-ups, I think I saw something like this on somebody else's channel, but I don't know whose, and I don't know where. And then I just kind of made them according to the way I wanted to make them. So I'm not sure exactly if they're exactly like somebody else's, or if I just took their idea and ran with it. A couple of more little journaling cards and tags. And then the fourth signature, again, has some large journaling cards, another one of the girl fussy cuts. And this has hidden journaling spots, so there's quite a few of those in here. I used 4 of the very small fans, and I used a little brad here to hook them together, and then I glued them where they were spinning, but they just kept kind of falling to the bottom, so I glued them down except for underneath here so I could tuck a spot up in it. And this is a weave tag that I used with my scraps from this kit to make the weave tag behind, and then I added a fussy cut to it. A little envelope that has a journaling card inside of it, and then it fits behind this little envelope. A couple of more little tags, and this paper I bought at Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but it's just kind of ruffly. Another file folder has some tags in it that you can, or journaling cards that you can write on. The little envelope here. Then I made a notebook that will go down inside of it to give you some writing spots there. And this little belly band actually wrapped right around the bottom. The same girl on both sides. And then another notebook on this side with a tag and a fussy cut. And then I just used a punch here to make the decorative edge. Then this is one of the fussy cuts, and I just have a paper clip holding it right here on the fans at the bottom. One of the double tags here. Excuse me. And then it has a journaling card on the inside of it. And another one of the little fold outs behind a belly band. and another corset. And the corsets, I don't know if I said it a minute ago, these came from last year's kits in April. So if I said that already, I'm sorry. And there's a little pocket on the inside for the tag to fit into, but you can untie those and stick them in a little better if you want to. These were just 2 of the pockets that I used to make a gatefold here. I backed them. There were 2 different pockets, and I backed them, and then I added another pocket on the inside that would hold a journaling card. Then there's more of these little envelopes that have the little journaling cards inside of them. All 3 of them are the same here. Another little journaling card. And another tag here that comes out. Then here's another one of the little tags that is woven here. Always end up with lots of little scraps, so that's a good way to use up your scraps and not just have to throw them away. Another journaling card. I used one of the clips here on this one. And then one more of these ladder pockets with tags on the inside, and I used the bows to embellish it. And then this is a gatefold that holds the first envelope that I did that I showed y'all in the challenge in the Facebook group, where I printed the envelopes twice, and then I added a flip up so that you see both the decorations when there's something in the envelope and when it's folded over. Another one of the little teeny envelopes with a journaling card, and another journaling card here. And then I used one of the very large pieces of paper that has 4 different strips on it to add to that. And the way that I add the signatures in with the elastic is once I've got it, even though I have it stitched, it'll just slide right into this elastic that I have on here to hold my signatures in. So it is a little easier to work with the signatures because they will come out and lay flat on your table when a book is quite this fat. There's only 28 pages altogether in the whole book, 28 full pages printed back and forth. Well, actually there's, I think, 27 pages, and then I counted the little white sheets that I got from Hobby Lobby as a page. So each journal just has 7 full pages in it, but it's really fat because of how fat some of these embellishments are. So just an idea for you guys to show you how to use some of Rose's beautiful digitals and what I do with them. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.